On July 28, 2011, Manchester City paid Atletico Madrid €40 million to acquire the services of Argentinian striker Sergio Aguero. Aguero was perhaps one of the first major signings made by the club's oil-rich Emirati investors, and to date has played a crucial role in everything great the club has achieved in the last 9 years. He's guided the club to 4 English Premier League titles, and the first one created one of the most iconic moments in the league's history when he scored at the death against QPR to finally halt Manchester United in their tracks. It was because of Aguero that City are now considered one of the biggest sides in England. In 374 games for Pep Guardiola's side, Aguero has scored an astonishing 255 goals and provided 73 assists. 180 goals have come in the Premier League alone, so yes, when we talk about Aguero, we're talking about one of the Premier League greats. While he's scored wherever he's gone, Aguero really became a huge star at the Etihad. Sadly though, things could be about to change. The last couple of years have not been really great from the South American since he's had to deal with quite a few injury issues. Moreover, at the age of 32, there's a feeling that Aguero is looking to discover something different in his career. 32 isn't the sort of age where you'd expect Aguero to start planning for the end of his career, but as we've seen, a lot of players have changed their approach towards the game based on their fitness level. While fit, Aguero is a force of nature and he simply won't be stopped. However, the fact that he's had a hard time staying on a regular basis must have had an impact on the experienced striker. When Pep Guardiola signed a contract extension earlier in November, it became clear that the Spaniard commanded the confidence of his bosses. The former Bayern Munich manager is eager to see Aguero stay on at the Etihad, with the player now in the final year of his contract. While speaking to reporters, Guardiola admitted that he would like to see the former Atletico man stay on. He's going to give us a decision. He deserves, with the club, fair talks to do what is best for him, for the club, for everyone. I have been lucky to play and manage with incredible football players, and he's one of them. I've never found a big star like him. So far, Aguero has featured in only 2 games in the league and was an unused substitute during the 2-0 defeat at the hands of Tottenham Hotspur. The striker has had to deal with quite a few injuries this year. After going through a knee surgery earlier in the summer, the 32-year-old missed out on more action due to a hamstring injury. And in the last few years, Aguero has been very cryptic about his future, and he's never fully committed to staying on at City beyond his current contract. The Argentine once said that he might want to return to Argentina one day to finish his playing career, and in May this year hinted at the possibility of returning to Spain. City's all-time record goalscorer admits that he does want to lift the Champions League title before leaving City and then returning to boyhood club Independiente before retiring. While speaking to El Chiringuito TV, Aguero admitted that he will have a few offers to review, but he hasn't really decided anything yet. "It's difficult," he said. "I'm not thinking about what I'm going to do. I know that every day my contract is closer to expiring. Probably there will be some offers, but we'll see. For now, I just want to try and win the Champions League with City. That would be an incredible achievement for me and the club. But I haven't really thought about what I will do after 2021. Also, the current landscape makes things more difficult. If next season starts later, it will probably end later, maybe in August, something like that." So where would Aguero end up once his contract expires? Here we take a look at some of the clubs that could end up acquiring his services if the player decides to end his time in England. Atletico Madrid. Aguero rose to prominence as a talented young striker at Atletico. After showcasing a lot of talent throughout his time in Spain, Aguero left to join Man City, but before that, he managed to win the Europa League. Aguero has hinted at maybe returning to Spain one day, and there would be a sense of unfinished business at the Wanda Metropolitano. Diego Simeone has enough options up front, but why would he say no to a player of the Argentine's quality, right? When it comes to Aguero, we can't be sure about anything. Atletico definitely have as good a chance of signing him as any other side. Plus, a team that can sign Luis Suarez and Joao Felix can definitely do anything. Juventus. As things stand, Juventus are finding it really hard to score goals every time Cristiano Ronaldo is out of the squad. The Portugal international keeps banging in the goals whenever he plays, but this season he's missed a few games. Quite recently, Andrea Pirlo's men were held to a 1-1 draw by Benevento. The reigning Italian champions were missing their star forward and simply couldn't find a way past Inzaghi's men. The The Bianconeri are reportedly looking to offload Ronaldo in order to ease the burden on their wage bill. Making a move for Aguero would definitely make a lot of sense. The Argentine is still a difference maker and still has at least 2 to 3 good years left to give in top-level football. We're pretty sure that Juve would already be studying the possibility of making a move for the 32-year-old striker once his contract at the Etihad expires. Paris Saint-Germain. As things stand, Kylian Mbappe is refusing to extend his stay at Parc des Princes. The young Frenchman wants to experience something different in his playing career and is likely to end up either in Spain or in England. PSG know they can't hold on to their prized asset and may have already started making a list of possible replacements. Aguero's contract expiration date is no longer a secret, and with each passing day he looks more and more likely to leave the club. PSG are a top prospect for any good player, and Aguero might consider making a move for a team that's getting closer and closer to finally winning the Champions League title. He might not be able to conquer Europe with Man City, but the French Giants just might be able to help him win one trophy that's eluded him in the last 10 years or so. The MLS. The MLS does offer a great prospect to any player whose European journey is coming to an end. LA Galaxy have always been a destination of choice alongside the New York Red Bulls. However, the emergence of Inter Miami under the leadership of David Beckham has also changed the league's scenery. With Gonzalo Higuain and Blaise Matuidi already there, you can expect Beckham to at least take his chances on bringing Aguero to North America. The player himself might not be against the idea, since that would allow him to earn a lucrative contract and also play a role in the franchise becoming an MLS giant. Return to Independiente. It's no secret that Aguero's heart belongs to Independiente, where he first rose to prominence. The Argentine has in the past admitted that he would want to end his career there. The South American might not be able to afford his wages, so the player would have to take a significant pay cut. Aguero wouldn't mind doing that, and in football, you can never say never. So who's going to replace Aguero at City? While Guardiola doesn't want to see his star striker leave, the Spaniard knows that this will happen at some point. Gabriel Jesus is still at the club, but do we think that the Brazilian can replace Aguero's goals? There's definitely a few options out there who can replace the City legend. Lautaro Martinez has been shining at Inter Milan in the last few months. The youngster is widely regarded as one of the most promising strikers on the planet, and after doing well for the Italians, he might want to leave the San Siro sooner rather than later. Barcelona have been interested in him for a long time, but Blaugrana's financial issues might result in the move not happening. City, on the other hand, have an abundance of cash to make such a move, and would be willing to pay over the odds for a striker who has a lot of time on his hands to replace his fellow countrymen and carry on his legacy at the Etihad. Every team in England has a striker who scores regular goals. When Aguero leaves, City would need someone like that. Erling Haaland is another option, but we do wonder if the young Norwegian is the type of player that Guardiola would want. Robert Lewandowski is one player the City manager would love to sign, but we're almost certain that the Poland international is unlikely to leave Bavaria anytime soon. Patrick Bamford has shown a lot of potential in Leeds' return to the Premier League. The Englishman has a lot of experience, and at the age of 27 should be at the peak of his powers. While he does miss a lot of chances at times, the English striker's ability to create is something that would be very much appreciated at Man City. At the age of 32, Aguero is closing in on the twilight years of his playing career. He's spent almost a decade at Man City and has played a big part in shaping the club's history. However, all good things do come to an end. Eventually, he will be leaving the club. But one thing's for certain, wherever he ends up, his legacy at the Etihad will always remain.